Hi guys, welcome and thanks for joining me for another Base Hospitality Group training video. Tonight's video is going to be focused on sales in honor of the newest member of our team. So I hope you guys will take just a moment and join me in welcoming Jonathan Naricon to the team. Welcome, Jonathan. It's good to have you on board. Jonathan worked with Josh and I years ago and has a great hospitality background. He's extraordinarily talented in a lot of different ways, and we'll be using him in a lot of different ways just because that's who he is and how he'll contribute to the team. So if you have any questions for Jonathan as he comes on board, he knows everything about that there is to know about running hotels. He's run full service hotels, limited service hotels. He's done it all, and he's a really great add for us. So we're excited to have him come on board. And so I hope you guys will welcome Jonathan when you see him, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And if you don't, feel free to give him a call. We'll be getting you his contact information here shortly. So welcome, Jonathan. Today's video is primarily geared toward the front desk and managers, but we're really going to focus on the front desk. So when I talk about sales and you go, oh, that's not me, I'm not a salesperson. If you work at the front desk, you're in sales. In fact, if you work in our hotels or any of our properties, you're in sales. Sales at its essence is simply persuading people to give their business to us. That's all it is. So if you're in housekeeping and you take care of a guest and say hello to them and make them feel at home and welcome, congratulations, you're part of the sales team because you just persuaded or incentivized that person to give their business to us because you gave them a great experience. If you're in the breakfast room and you ask someone, what are they doing in town, and steer them to the coolest local landmark that no one knows about, welcome to the sales team. You've persuaded that person to come back and stay with us next time. Sales is something we all do, and we're all part of the sales team. Part of the reason for that is, believe it or not, we are in a for-profit business. Contrary to some belief, we are not a nonprofit. We are also not just here to exist for no other purpose. We are actually a for-profit business. Making a solid profit allows us to do things for you all in terms of compensation and quality of life that companies that don't make a profit are unable to do. And so we're all a part of the sales team because we're all here trying to improve the financial performance of our businesses. And so if you're at the front desk, this is a mandatory part of what you do. And a big part of what we're going to be emphasizing over the next few weeks as Jonathan comes on board and we roll out the next layer, so to speak, of new procedures for our hotels and our properties. So this is going to be a relatively brief video because it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Sales is not a difficult thing. A lot of it is just attentiveness and anticipation. Sales, attentiveness, and anticipation. So, if you work at the front desk, we're going to require you to ask one question. The rest of the experience that you provide our guests is customized. It's suited to your personality. But there's one question that you are required to ask. It's the only phrase that we're going to require you guys to say and ask. Anything else that comes out, it's you. If I answer the phone and I say, hey, thank you for calling the Hotel Ojibwe. This is Charlie. How can I help you? That's my way of answering the phone. If your way of answering the phone is saying, hi, this is Jane. How can I help you today? Thanks for calling the hotel. Whatever it is, you be you. I'm going to be me. But the one thing we're both going to have in common is we're both always going to ask this one question. What brings you to town? What brings you to town? Why are you coming to town? Something like that has to be asked on every single call. And generally when it happens is someone calls and says, hey, I'd like to make a reservation. The first thing you should ask, and you must ask, is what brings you to town? Oh, why are you coming to Marquette? Why are you coming to Sault Ste. Marie? Why are you coming to Wisconsin Rapids? What brings you to town? Ask it in a curious way, not an invasive way. Not in an invasive way. We're not looking to attack them or accost them. We're looking to help them, truly. And what we want to find out is whether or not the caller is a part of a bigger group, project, or company that might be bringing more business to town than just that individual caller's room. Okay, so let's take one quick step back for just a moment. Part of all of this, and this will be a video that's specific to managers that all of our folks are welcome to watch, but for the managers, tomorrow or Tuesday, your video will drop about understanding the revenue model and the financial model of our hotels. A big part of that is that not every room is intended to be rented at rack rates or the highest rate. We rent what's called segments of rooms, room rates, to travelers, with the lowest rated rooms being either state employees or corporate employees, and people that come in very, very often to town. And so they provide a steady source of business to our hotels, just consistently throughout the year. We get to know them very well. We develop great relationships with them, and then we can give them far better service than someone we only see once every 10 years or maybe once in a lifetime. So those are really cool relationships, and we really prioritize them in our business model as well as our service model. So now back to the question. What brings you to my town? Why are you coming today? Some of the bigger hotel franchisors, they make you say leisure or business. Are you traveling for pleasure or business? And before you can input any more information into the property management system, you have to answer that question. The problem is now people ask the question, pleasure or business? And once you get the answer, you just put it in and then you're on to the next thing. But there's actually a reason for asking that question. And the reason is that if we find out this person is coming to town and they're a part of a major project, or they're a part of a big team, oh yeah, our team is going to be coming and staying in Sault Ste. Marie for a week because it's the only ice rink that's open in the northern half of Michigan. Well, great. Where are the other parents staying? I don't know. I guess I didn't think about that. Well, who would we talk to if we wanted to try to set up your friends with a great rate at our hotel as well? See, the cool thing about this is, one, you're doing sales for a known need. Okay, we're not asking you guys to cold call anyone. We're not asking you to pick up the phone and just start dialing random numbers and say, hi, do you want to come stay at our hotel, please? That's not what this is. This is sales to a known need, which is lodging. So the people that are calling you, you know they already want your service. They already want what you have to offer. And second, 98 times out of 100, you're actually going to be able to give them a better rate than they would have gotten had they just been on their own. Here's how this goes. Hey, so what brings you to town? Marquette's such a cool place. Why are you coming to visit? Oh, Marquette, it's cool? Yeah, it's the coolest town around. What do you got? What's going on? I'm a part of a big construction project down on the lakeshore. Really? Are you part of a construction crew? Yeah, I mean, 12 of my buddies are coming to town with me. Really? Where are they staying? I don't know. I haven't talked to any of them. Well, who could I talk to? Maybe see if we can set up all 12 of your buddies here at the hotel with you. We'll give you guys a great rate. And then you can hang out with each other at night. We'll set you up with a little conference space or a little atrium room, something for you guys to hang out at the end of the night. Oh, wow, that's really cool. So now your $99 rate drops to $79 maybe, or $129 to $109 or $99, whatever it is at your specific hotel. But you're actually offering them a service and you're actually giving them a better deal than they likely would have gotten if they'd have been flying solo, if you'd have never asked this question. Now you might say, what are you idiots doing? You're giving away money? Sure we are. Because in this case, we're exchanging a higher rate for one person for a lower rate for a greater volume of guests. So if we can get a bunch of people in, we'd rather have a bunch of people in at a little bit lower rate and have everybody happy than just one person in at a higher rate. Makes sense? You got one guy in at $100, you get $100. If you have 10 guys in at $80, you get $800. And we play in the world of real dollars. We don't play in the statistical world that say, my ADR went from 100 to 80. Okay, great. You had a $100 ADR and $100 of revenue. We play in the revenue world. Sure, we like high ADR average rates, but if I can get $800 of real revenue and have a lower ADR, we'll do that all day. We don't need anyone patting us on the back saying, hey, way to go on that $100 ADR and you only rented one room. So we play in the RevPAR game, revenue per available room. Okay, so revenue is important in that way. So what brings you to town allows them to answer the question, oh, is it leisure? Is it corporate? Is it business? Why are you here? What's going on? How can I help you and any of your colleagues that might be coming with you? I'd love to help out in any way I can. So you're wanting to find out, is this a repeat traveler? Sometimes there's one guy and he works for one company, but he's in your market 200 days of the year. If you capture that traveler 200 days of the year at $100 of revenue, and that's a new traveler, you just increased annual revenues by $20,000. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Second, is this part of a project? Some of our markets right now have projects going crazy. You guys, if you're in the Sioux, if you're in Marquette, and someone calls, there's a good chance that that is a project caller. So if you ask them, why are you coming to town, and you find out they're part of a project, get some contact information so that we can reach out to them and try to get a greater volume of these project travelers staying at our hotel. Everybody wins in that case. Is it a repeat traveler, part of a project, or is it a company traveler? Is this part of a company? A lot of times these companies, they'll have an HR person that calls, or they'll have individual travelers who call that have to then send it up for approval to HR. And if you can find out, hey, you work for Verizon? Oh, that's cool. A lot of people from Verizon come to Marquette. Oh, really? Yeah, I guess so. I do have 6 or 7 of my buddies that are here on project business. Well, where do they stay? I don't know. You'd have to talk to HR. Sure. Do you have somebody's number we could reach out to? See if we can set you guys up with a really great rate? Sure. Here you go. Write it down. So front desk, you are going to be using the sales lead form that we've provided to you. It's in the SOP. And if you don't have it, can't find it electronically, let us know. The Ojibwe has one for sure. The Mead has one for sure. Cedar, if you guys need one, let Joe or Sheila or someone know and they can set you up with one. All right. So the next thing we're going to roll into, when you find out this is a repeat traveler or part of a project or a team or a big group, or it's somebody who's a corporate traveler, ask them this question. Who would we talk to about setting up some rates for your company or your group to save everybody some money? We'd like to save you guys some money, get more of you guys in. The more of you we have in here, the better the rate we can give you. Just tell them that. It's true. Just tell them. Okay, we have nothing to hide. Who would we talk to about that? Oh, you got to talk to my boss. Cool. Can I get his number? If you get that number, write it down and pass it to your manager and or Jonathan and or me and Josh, but put it on that sales lead form. We will be looking at your sales lead form many times throughout the week. So put it on there so that we can then track this guy down, this person down, this lady down, and talk to someone who's a decision maker to get more of that business into the hotel. All right, now the next thing, and this is for service as well as sales, but today we're going to apply it to sales. Be attentive to who is calling on the phone or walking in the door. There is so much business that's already calling us or walking in the door of our hotels that if we just captured all of the lodging demand connected to the people that are already calling us or are walking in our door, revenues would probably go up by $100,000 between now and June portfolio-wide. There's that much money and revenue out there that's being left on the table because we're not thinking from a sales perspective yet, which is why we're rolling this out right now with Jonathan coming on. And we are now going to be adopting that as a major part of our hotel culture. So it's been there in the past, and some of you guys are excellent at it. This isn't to take anything away from you guys, but we have so many new folks joining us now, a new hotel coming on board, a new team member, and Jonathan joining us, that all of our folks, not just those of you who have been with us a little while, we have to adopt and absorb and become a sales culture, a sales environment. We're not trying to sell people something they don't need. We're not trying to sell people something they don't want. We're trying to help people save some money by bringing us more rooms than we're currently getting. They win, we win. It's one of the few sales environments where everybody legitimately wins. And if anybody can figure out a way where someone's not winning, let me know and we'll fix it. But this is truly a way where everyone who's involved wins. The company that stays with us wins, we win, the traveler wins, and our staff wins because now everybody gets to know each other better, fuller, richer relationships, even better service than what we're providing now. It's great. So be attentive to who is calling on the phone or walking in the door. Ask them these questions, but think about, why would they be calling here? It's an electrician. Why would an electrician be calling here? Wait, this company isn't based in our town. Why would they be coming here? Think about who's coming and why, and ask them questions. Ask them appropriately, again, so we're not invasive, but ask questions to discover and develop. You want to draw out of them the information that you need to find out whether this contact is worth pursuing further from a sales perspective. All right, so if you're in your hotel and suddenly you see three guys walk through in construction clothing, hard hats, and they're headed for your restaurant, and you don't recognize them as guests, there's a really good chance these guys are in town for some sort of project. Be attentive to who's walking in your door. Hey guys, where are you headed? We're looking for the restaurant. What are you doing here? Oh, we're working on the road project. We're going to be in town for 6 weeks, but we heard you had a good restaurant. We have a great restaurant and an even better bar. How'd you like to stay with us for a few weeks? Oh, I didn't even know. You guys, it's a pretty nice place. You guys got good corporate rates? We can set you up. What do you need? Get them talking to you, get their information. And if you feel comfortable using your rate guidelines sheet to quote them rates and get them booked, do it. If you don't feel comfortable, get your manager up there. They can help support you, do it alongside you so that next time you can do it on your own. Get those folks staying with us by watching who's walking in your door and offering them a service that we already know they need. It's another great way to provide great service. If you see someone walking through the lobby looking semi-lost in their pajamas, usually it's a good time to say, hey, what are you looking for? Can I help you find something? Or you see someone coming down with their empty thermos and you haven't checked the coffee in a couple of hours. Be attentive. Run out, check the coffee. Hey, let me grab you a fresh pot. You look like you need it. Just kidding. Be attentive to who's calling on the phone or walking in the door. And how can these folks produce more business for us than what they are today? Some of our hotels, Wisconsin Rapids is a great example. You have massive groups that come into the property in the summertime. Some for weddings, some for water skiing, some for cranberry, some for motorcycle events. When someone calls and they're looking for rates affiliated with something and you find out they're on a cranberry tour, it's a great time to say, who's coming with you? Can we talk to someone who's leading this group and see if maybe we could set up everybody? We got all kinds of great spaces. And don't be afraid to use the amenities that we have to offer these things to our guests. If you got guests who want to come in as a group and you've got an empty room sitting there, offer it to them as a little lounge. They can go get drinks in the bar. They can head up. They can sit up in one of our little meeting spaces, watch a movie together, play some games, whatever. Use the amenities that you have to attract business to us. Another great tool that you guys have that maybe you don't even recognize is the arrivals sheet. Your hotel has an arrivals sheet, whether you're an Opera hotel or you're a Cloudbeds hotel or whatever type of hotel you are. For your PMS, you have an arrivals sheet. You know who's coming in to check in at your property. That arrivals sheet should have the company name on it if it's a corporate traveler. Now, if you see a corporate rate and there's no company name, somebody booked it without asking the question, what brings you to town? Because when you ask the question, and this is right in your procedures manual, what brings you to town, if they say business, the next thing you have to ask is, who do you work for? What's the company name? And now that we get that company name, our managers and our sales team can start chasing down that company to find out if they have more business from the back end, right? Sometimes the travelers just don't know, but the corporate headquarters usually do. So if you can provide, hey, this company's coming to town, then we can do some legwork to go find out how many more are coming to town working for that company. Using the arrival sheet is a great way to make sure we have our important guests, which all of them are, but some of them, they're coming with big businesses. In the Soo, for example, we've got folks who come in and they stay with us for 6-8 weeks at a time. And they bring a bunch of them, and we love these guys, and we want to make sure we take great care of them. So when you see a big group coming in and, oh, this company's coming to stay with us this week, then naturally the first thing you should do is look at that arrival sheet. What rooms are these guys going into? Are there any known issues with those rooms? Does this one have a flickery TV? Or this one has a little bit louder HVAC system than the one next door? Look at your arrival sheet and make sure that the guys you want going into all the right rooms are going into all the right rooms. If we're going to have empty rooms, I'd rather have them be our worst rooms than our best rooms. Furthermore, if we love service and taking care of people, when we look at our arrival sheet and we see that we've got a couple of VIPs coming in, some major corporate guests, do something cool. Get them a bottle of wine or a 6-pack of local beer, something fun, some chocolates, you got golf tees, you got golf towels, what do you have? Do something cool. Put something in the room. Hey, just in a little handwritten note. Hey, it's Ashley. Just want you to know we're thinking about you. We appreciate your business very much. Here's my number. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you to make sure your stay is great. Using the arrival sheet that way is a tremendous, tremendous value to make sure we're providing the best service around and that we're taking care of our VIP company and project guests. Okay. So like I said, this is a simple thing, but it's extremely important and it's not easy. It requires attentiveness, focus. It requires diligence in asking questions. And then it requires conscientiousness in taking good notes, getting good information while you're talking to a guest without it feeling like you're interviewing them and writing down every word they say. The conversations have to feel natural, but yet you've got to be able to remember, oh yeah, this guy works for this company. He's the guy who's in charge of booking rooms for the company, and he said it's okay for me to pull his number out of Opera and give it to our sales guy to call him later. Write all of that down in the sales log after the fact. In the moment, let this guy know that he's the most important guest in our hotel, because whoever's standing in front of you at that moment absolutely is. Particularly, like we're emphasizing today, these folks who are our corporate travelers. We want to take care of them because we get to see them year round. And it's important to us to make sure they know they always have a place to stay when they come see us. Our leisure travelers, they get the best of the best as far as service goes because they're coming in and they're usually paying a premium to stay with us. And everybody loves summertime in the UP, so we're all in a better mood then. Just kidding, those of you who love wintertime. And we are able to give them great service, but we only get to see them one time, often, maybe twice. So these corporate guys are guys and gals that we get to know really, really well over many, many years. So we want to do our best to take really good care of them. This sales process is our way to make sure we're not only taking care of them, but we're taking care of their company and trying to help them with their best interest as well as our own. So all of this to come back around, we are a for-profit business. We are going over the next few years to see our revenues go like this year over year over year. That's why we're doing what we're doing. We've been very successful with these processes, and some of you guys have lived it and experienced it and can tell your teams stories of your own. So as you go through this, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you run into a situation where someone felt like the conversation was weird, or if you think of something unique. Hey, I was driving down the road the other day and I saw 3 company trucks in a gas station. And I just wrote down the company name. Great, that's a sales lead. Put it in the sales log. So with this, we're going to be rolling out a sales incentive for those of you who we're going to prorate by hours worked, so it's fair for everybody. But there's going to be some cash prizes for those of you who collect the most sales leads, and for those of you who, by collecting those sales leads, see the most revenue increase over a month. So if you take a phone call and somebody's looking to book a room and you get 4 of his buddies in there and they stay for a whole month and you jump revenue up, there's going to be a cash reward for you. So that will be getting rolled out this week as Jonathan comes on board. So a lot of cool stuff for you guys, a lot of cool stuff for base in each of our hotels. And this sales thing is going to be a whole lot of fun for all of you guys. So if you have questions, talk to Jonathan, talk to me, talk to Josh, talk to your managers. But we're going to be rolling this thing out hot and heavy over the next few months. So don't be afraid to ask your questions. Make sure you're following this procedure and everything laid out in the video. Look forward to seeing you guys this week.